brother.
Can I check out your table?
Yeah, heck yeah, bro. We're the Soldiers of the Cross. We're my motorcycle ministry out of Nampa, and they just asked do security for them.
How long have you been in Nampa?
6 months.
6 months you've been in Nampa? Yep. Okay, so like...
Well, the ministry has.
The ministry has.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys travel around?
So there's a ministry. It's based out of Modesto, California.
Modesto.
It's been there 20 years.
Yeah.
And there's 180 members out there.
Okay, gotcha.
We just actually brought a chapter out here. We're the first chapter that has come out of state. And it's because one of the members that started it in Modesto had moved to Idaho.
Are y'all with like Turning Point or?
Yeah, this is Turning Point USA.
You're actually like with Turning Point USA?
Yeah, I'm a field rep for them.
Okay, cool, cool. So, where are you guys based out of?
Phoenix is our headquarters.
Phoenix is your headquarters,
we have field
okay.
reps all across the country.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Are you a local field rep? Like you are from Idaho and you like volunteer for Turning Point or something? Or?
I work for Turning Point.
Oh, you work for Turning Point, okay.
I'm from Washington originally.
Ah, okay. Okay, so they like hire here locally?
They do, yeah.
Oh, okay, word. Are you like affiliated with like any local organizations aside from just like being here? Like, are you like partnered with like Old State or like Soldiers of the Cross? Or?
No. We're just here to partner and do the event, basically. Yeah.
Could you tell me like what inspired you to like actually want to go work for Turning Point USA?
Well, I started with Turning Point USA as a student at the Boise State campus.
Okay, gotcha.
And
so they have like they have a chapter at KPSU.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I helped when the chapter first got started, and I got to go to all of the conferences as a student and meet Charlie, and just that experience made me want to work for them.
Yeah, he came and he's on campus, and you got to like meet him. Were you already working for Turning Point at that point?
So he came back in 2021 was the first time I met him. But
okay.
Yes, I was working when he was here last in May.
Okay, cool. All right, wow.
Yeah.
Liberties.
If you want to take anything, please take some pins and stickers.
All right.
We have representatives from both Boise State and then also high school representative, Kate Sivak and Aiden Shingler.
My name is Kate Sivak. I am a member of the largest conservative youth organization in America, created by a man of principle, a man of peace, and a man of God, Charlie Kirk. I was introduced to Charlie Kirk in middle school through his show. Being a part of the first generation, brought up with social media and unlimited choices for news, I was drawn to shows like Charlie's. For the first time, young people no longer needed the mainstream media, whose goal it is to feed us their agenda. Last April, we had the privilege of having Charlie Kirk on campus. God works in mysterious ways that I don't think anyone will truly be able to understand. I want to thank you all for being here today and showing that Charlie's legacy will continue to live on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aiden Shingler. I'm 17 years old and the chapter president of Club America at Centennial High School, a branch off of Turning Point USA. I'd say this is probably the most beautiful crowd I've ever seen. Is everybody here proud to be a child of God tonight? I first came across Charlie's work as a student. What stood out to me wasn't how smart he was or how he spoke truth in a culture, but it's how he connected faith with conservatism. Together, we've been called a racist cult, uneducated, and my favorite, really cringe. Now, one afternoon, I was informed that I was invited, along with other youth leaders from across the nation, that I was going to be having breakfast with Charlie Kirk the next morning. In Idaho alone, we now have 48 active high school chapters. Last year, there was 8 of us. Now, Charlie, he showed us that this fight is not just political, but it is spiritual.
One more round of applause. That was Kate and Aiden from TPUSA.
Charlie! 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 They don't know what they did. They united an entire people and sent ripples across the world, galvanizing many people and many nations in action. In the Bible.
And fierce warrior for America first, right here in our backyard in Boise. My friends, exposing the lies of the radical left, please give a raging loud welcome to Theo Wold.
It's good to see you all here tonight. There's this great line from a philosopher from Scotland. I won't bore you with his story. He's got this great line and he says, "The history of the world is just a biography of great men." And Charlie Kirk was a great man. And because he was a great man, he was a man out of time. He was great in an age that despises greatness. a larger-than-life hero in an era ruled by the small and the petty. And he believed in a cause beyond himself, so much so that he was willing to lay his life down for it. That's what he was called to do by our Lord. With every great man that came before Charlie in the history of our people, none of them feared death. Look at what he built. Through Turning Point USA and through the example he lived as a husband and as a father, he shaped not only a movement, but an entire generation. It was all about the truth. That minds could be persuaded and they could be changed by the truth. In Charlie's view, guided by faith in Jesus Christ, no soul, even our friends who were here earlier this afternoon, no soul is beyond salvation. Charlie's kindness was legendary. And what did he do that night? He shared his faith in Jesus Christ and moved the room with his testimony. The assassin made his memory immortal. Because Charlie was born into a generation that had been taught to despise the nation. And it taught them that they had a sacred duty to defend their past and to fight for their future. They looked at college campuses and they just saw it as lost enemy territory. Charlie looked at college campuses and he saw an opportunity, an army of future converts waiting to be called upon. At 18 years old, he started Turning Point. He left college after one semester, having learned what he needed, and he determined to do what was right. Guided by faith in Jesus Christ, a love for this nation, and a conviction in the ultimate triumph of truth, Charlie set out on a crusade. Charlie knew that evil was real. He knew there was a great darkness at work in America, the same darkness that tore him away from us far too soon. But Charlie was never afraid. He died a hero. He lives as a martyr. We owe him more than just our grief. We owe him victory. We owe him the victory confronting the great evil that he gave his life to defeat. Give up the addictions of this age. Social media, pornography, violence, the soulless and empty consumerism, drink, drugs, all the noise of a society that has forgotten the material of the everlasting soul. And that we be worthy of the sacrifice of this good and decent man. He preached the name of Jesus Christ and he followed the commandment to make disciples of all nations. Certainty that the seeds he planted in this nation and beyond will bear fruit for years to come. And certainty that as we embark upon the task of completing his work, that's right, of completing his work, these are the first few steps of a journey to complete Charlie's work.
Why so quiet?
USA! 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 USA!
It's good, man. It's good to be under a good king.
Just got people behind us here.
Charlie!
Charlie! Charlie! Charlie! Charlie! Charlie! Charlie!
Idahoans against Christian nationalism. It's good to be an American, man. It's good because Christ is good. We have freedoms that no other country knows.
Can you say the name of your organization? Boise Knights Templar. Were you hired or volunteering? You can't say? Can't say. Okay, that's okay.
The Idaho Freedom Foundation.
Idaho Freedom Foundation. Here we go. Rachel something.
It was about truth, it was about liberty, and most of all, it was about God.
Yeah, they're gonna talk about these really, really serious critical changes to law that they're introducing, and we're gonna see what they're talking about. Theo Wold, who was at God's Country March, and obviously Mark from Old State Saloon, they were announcing on social media that they were going to come here and talk here in about 10 minutes about all of the changes they're bringing through legislation this legislative season to make Idaho the toughest state on immigration. A bunch of new bills and stuff that probably Idaho Freedom Foundation, Idaho Policy for Conservative Values or whatever, Family Values or whatever. These organizations that are writing these bills just to make life harder for immigrants and all of us out here doing the ice wash and whatnot. They're just going to talk about all the stuff they're going to be putting into law, and we are a super minority. So, you know, obviously whatever they introduce is probably going to get passed through. So we're just here for the updates. If they're going to tell us what they're doing, we'll listen.
Thank you everyone who has come. We want an audit of how many people are in our state that are taking up rooms in jails, county jails, state prisons. Now I think we already have the number for the state prisons that came up in our JFAC review. We have 300 in the state prisons.
Real quick, there's a lot of legislators in the room, not just, these are a lot of them, but there's other legislators out here and people doing things and whatnot, and or an economic lens. So that something I've seen a lot since I can remember, since the 80s, is it always comes down to race or labor. And I think that's all by design. I think it's all a smoke screen, because what they don't want you to know, or they don't want you and I to think about, is that this is really a human rights issue. My humble opinion, and probably several of you and several people behind me, this is about demographic replacement.
Good afternoon, I'm Theo Wold, former Idaho Solicitor General. It's been my pleasure to work with a number of these legislators in drafting some of these measures for consideration. A number of these bills were drafted and presented last session, almost a year ago, and were given next to no consideration in committee or an opportunity for an up and down vote on the floor. After they were inundated with illegal alien minor children. In a typical school year, the Denver public school system would see about 500 to 800 illegal alien children matriculated in their schools during the height of the Biden administration's illegal alien invasion.
So I'm with Secure Idaho. I don't know if you know who we are, but we were a ragtag group of volunteers that got together to fight ranked choice voting last year. Theo was talking about what the taxpayers are paying, but there's only money at work too. So we're actually going to show you which legislators are taking what money from the special interests that would like to kill this good legislation. But we're going to do more than that. We're going to track these bills every step of the way. So as you all know, or most of us now know, having played this game a little bit, a lot of good bills go to die silently in a drawer, right? Or they're refused a hearing in a committee, or they're infinitely postponed, or stalled, or any other number of ploys to make a bill quietly go away. We're going to track all of that activity this time. It's going to be totally sunlighted. You're going to see every one of those procedural moves and every one of these bills.
Hi, Galvin. Ladies first.
Lynn Grascute, LD19. I have a question about the prison system. When an illegal alien is convicted of a crime, we send them to our prisons to eat fruit cocktail, exercise, have a wonderful life.
Theo, as usual, buried the lead. I know a lot of you know who he is, but you know, in case you don't, he actually was Trump's main immigration policy guy, Trump 45. So,
Yeah, so I've been here my whole life, and I'm not in alignment with a lot of people in this room. I come from the other side of the aisle. You want me to get your good side? Show me your good side.
There we go, good.
Yeah. What's your name?
Good. Representative Kyle Harris is right there.
Kyle Harris.
Love to hear from you. Steve Tanner, what's your name?
Steve Tanner?
You show up at everything. Yeah, what do you want from me?
Lynn Bredescu.
You're probably a great candidate to join the Republican Party and really find out what life is all about.
Clint Hallslider, what district are you from?
I'm down in Twin Falls, rural county area. My solution to people on the right and the left is turn off the media.
Representative Dale Hawkins, Legislative District 2. We've seen this in here before, and I just want to thank the committee and their patience. We were on the docket, I think a little over a week ago, and there was some concerns, so we The good chairman worked with us, and we worked with others, and we made as many concessions as we thought we could as far as the courts and first responders, and even some additional for law enforcement. I have before you House Bill 764. It had a different number a week and a half ago until we made these changes. This bill is to stop people who are part of organizations who are enticing and facilitating what I would say is the great numbers of people who have entered or are entering our country still, even though we know that our borders are what we call essentially closed. It's still going on. Now I'm going to let my associate go a little deeper into the legal parts of this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Theo Wold, representing myself, my personal capacity. I'm a resident of Boise. The bill we're debating today mirrors what is already a federal law. This means that any organization today that attests to having a problem complying with the terms of this bill, if it were enacted, already has a problem.
I'm presuming you wrote the bill. Can you define, harboring is not defined within the bill. How is the state of Idaho supposed to define this harboring throughout the prohibitions?
My understanding is that harboring already exists as a definitional content in the Idaho Code. I may be wrong about that.
But why should we be saying, hey, federal government, you just now get to write our laws?
My name is Reverend Jenny Hurst. I serve Collister United Methodist Church here in Boise, and I am one of the 60-plus clergy and faith leaders who signed and submitted a joint letter opposing this bill.
My name is Sheriff Matt Clifford. I'm the Ada County Sheriff. I'm here representing the Idaho Sheriff's Association, which is the association of all sheriffs in Idaho, and we are in opposition of H764. I was here last year with almost the exact same bill before the committee, and it was H335 back then. That bill was held in committee after hearing and did not move forward. I compared today's bill with last year's bill, and I see no very substantial change to it at all. Therefore, I cannot change my position, nor would I understand if this committee that held it before did not do so again. Finally, the Idaho Sheriff's Association tried to submit to the sponsor of this bill a clear and simple law enforcement exception. I'm concerned that this language was not considered this time around, and this is just the same bill with no substantial changes in it.
And for those who have raised concerns, including members of our law enforcement or the legal community, I think we have answers. I think the bill itself, as written, has answers.
This is all tied together. We're a nation of laws. There is a legal process to get here. One of my best friends years ago from Canada, I was able to help her prepare to go, take the test, and then to become to become a citizen through the proper channels. What an amazing experience that is. We offer that to everyone.
So we are saying, hey, federal government, we're now adopting your law. But the problem, and why I was thinking about that harboring portion, is there's a circuit split. So the Ninth Circuit is different than all the other parts of the country. So harboring is defined differently here in the Ninth Circuit where we are. What are we adopting? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to adopt anything the Ninth Circuit's doing, where we have our good churches, we have our good sheriffs, good conservative people that I know and I greatly respect. Are coming in here and saying, whoa, our objections have not been listened to.
Representative Ehart just told us a story. A friend of hers was studying for a legally required test. The good lady knew she was here illegally, so you could argue that the good lady would have been in violation of the language that says it is illegal to provide legal assistance to an alien.
Just really quickly, I will sponsor the first motion. I think the sponsor of the bill did a great job. He's been working on this for a long time, went back, got it right. All the issues that were majorly concerns from our testifiers were addressed.
Probably before the committee is a substitute motion to hold H764 in committee. Motion carries 9-7.